What is going on, everybody? I'm Blessed Eternal here. We are back on Lightly Basted. How are you doing today? I noticed there's a hole over there that I really should fix, and I'm probably going to forget about it, and apparently reverse F5 mode. Oh, no. Hey, I have things, and now they're gone. Have things, they're gone. Yeah, that's annoying. Anyway. We are going to get started, or rather going to finish if possible, a little bit of a project that I have been working on for a while. First things first, we need noms. Can I make... Okay, so tomato soup is good. I'll worry about something else later. I can't be bothered. So Icy is currently online on the server. What we are going to be working on is this. Our villager breeder box, breeder pen, whatever you want to call it. And we do have the conveyor belts put in on each side, which will just dump the villagers in, and they will fall through the chute. And of course, they don't have the feather falling on it, like I do. So that means that they are going to quickly perish if we do not do... Really, game? If we do not do something to help them out. But first, we're just going to do that. And what we are going to need to do is that we're just going to build a small box here for the moment. Let's do that. And we want a 2-high space. Let's see here. I think it's in this bag. Nope. There we go. So we want a 2-high space. 1, 2. And then we want cobwebs. So that will slow down the villagers falling. And then they will simply fall through the spider web and they'll land down here. Sounds like a pretty decent time to me. And from there, I guess we don't actually need it this big over here, because this is just going to be a channel with a conveyor belt on it to bring them over here, because this is going to be the key feature. And I'm trying to think here. If I run the power in from underneath, the alternative is that I need to run the power in from over here, and the seared glass would need to move. You know what? What if I put the chrono... No, I'm not moving the chronotyper. So, or rather, I'm not moving it up to a different height. If I move it here here, for example, I would be able to run the cable underneath it, and I could just put a conveyor belt or something up here that will dump them in, and if they try to hop out, then they're just going to fall back in anyway. How do I feel about that, though? I'm not quite sure on how I feel about it. Not quite sure why I did that either. So, either way you cut it, though, we need a villager box, a holding pen, as it would be. Right around here. Really, game? And we're just gonna fill this back in. And let's run the assumption we're gonna run the cable underneath. Let's just run that assumption. Which means I'm gonna need to do this. And we are going to need the wall. Okay, so let's see here. I think it will go back as far as 5 blocks. So we can do this and do this. And put a torch there and a torch there for lighting. Do this and... let's do that. And I think that the purple end needs to be here. I think that is going to be moving adults. And then move this. Yeah, you know what? Let's just put that there. We'll put a conveyor belt here. That's going to be completely pointless, but hey, whatever. We need some bricks here to fill that in. And this is only going to be a 1 high smeltery, so I really have a weird feeling I'm going to have to lower that. So let's just do that anyway. I was told on live stream that I shouldn't have to lower that, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then we're just going to do this. And I'm probably going to need some kind of a lighting system here or something. Let's do that for the moment. Oh, well, you know. So aside from the stone that I have on me, then we have a perfect number. And I have a theory about these spots back here. And make it so that mobs can fall down here if they happen to get aggroed toward the villagers. And have them dropped on the spikes. It's kind of my thought anyway. So if we're running power underneath, we are going to need to run that over this way. Oh, hi, berries. I really don't need you. Ooh, perfect. I couldn't have planned that better. Let's put you in there. You know what? No, I want you. So we need hardened fluiducts. Hardened flux ducts. My mistake. I need to make another elevator to go down another tier. I do know that. Hardened flux ducts. I suspect I'm going to need more of them. Let's do that. And that will be 5? Yes. Really? And that'll be... if I'm remembering it correctly, it's 15 redstone. So we do that. We put the invar. There we go. So we have the hardened flux ducts, which transfer fast enough fast enough for us here. I couldn't imagine needing more power than this. At least not anytime in the near future. And what we will do that. And we will connect it like this. Two, three, four, and let's go 5. And let's get the, you know what, let's toss the solid stone down there. And now that thing has power. Which, oh, I might be wrong. Let's flip this thing around. Because I think the shiny bit needs to be aiming toward the villagers. So let's do that, and let's do that. Because we only want... I'm assuming that thing only works on one side. But how do we keep the villagers from fighting back up that way? Okay, so I can't really go much above this. This is the highest I can go. Yeah. Okay, so I can do this. I can do this, and we can replace that with the chiseled cobble for the sake of the looks. Yeah, I don't think I can... I was thinking that I could just run them across on, say, 1 block higher and dump them in, but I don't think that's going to really change anything. Well, I guess I can put a ceiling on this. Let's do that. Let's do that. So all of this is just to get emeralds. And what I mean by that is it means that we can get emeralds without having to trade with the villagers. Now, trading with the villagers is not necessarily bad. Trading with the villagers is how we get all kinds of shinies that we won't be able to get otherwise, or rather in a cheaper manner is how we would get them this way. So you know what? Let's go up here. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. You know what? I suspect... Yeah. Let's do that. And let's just make sure we get all the 4 corners done on this. Really? Fine. Alright, so that allows us just to make sure this is completely framed in. And we're still going to need more glass for this anyway. Or more glass, more solid stone. Don't have any more solid stone on me. Let's go get a little bit of glass or something. I'm also going to use this smeltery to cook up some glass as well, because I'm going to need some glass for our blood altar room. Up another one. Oh, that's the last 4. I probably don't need 4 stacks. Let me put one of you back away so that it can be auto-sorted later. Probably could have took stone bricks too, because I'm fairly certain that I have stone bricks. Before I forget, where did I put them? I don't have any more made. I forgot that. I used them all. So I'm going to need... You know what, let's just do 4. And my rubber is up here as well as the redstone. We need more conveyor belts. And 24, I think. And I think this will make a ton of conveyor belts for us. Oh, hey. I guess we can put that stuff back. 64 conveyor belt sugar. And we needed glass. Well, standard glass should do it, but... No. No. Let's make this a little fancy. Stay in the pen. Let's take a stack of that. And... Ooh, 26 gold. Let's make some fancy glass. Fancy. Not really that fancy. I mean, we're only talking about doing... clear glass. Like the Tinker's super clear stuff. And I should have brought glowstone, and I should have brought carpenter's blocks. And I feel like a derp. Let's do this, let's do this. And while we're waiting on the glass, because we're going to have to go back to get the glass anyway, let's get the carpenter's blocks and a little bit of glowstone. Let's put this stuff away, put the sword away. We're not going to need that right now. And we're going to do that little Heidi the Light trick thing, like you've probably seen on other channels and whatnot with carpenter's blocks. I don't think we'll need any more than 8. Let's check on the glass again in a moment. There's the 8 for that. If we can pour up, say, I don't know, 5 or 6. Well, let's just wait a moment. Must pour faster. I want no less than 3. I want no less than 3. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go 7. Let's go 7. I could probably put the fluid or the flux ducts away. I should not need any more of those right now. and that's 4. And let's do a little bit of multitasking here. Let's take all that dust. And let's put it in here. Now, if you are playing along with X asterisk and stuff like that, you do not need the fancy one there. You can actually have it set up with slightly less redstone power simply by sifting with an autonomous activator set to right-click mode and the sieve or the sift, depending on how you say it, as well as ideally a vacuum hopper. And you can have all of that set up where you don't even need to worry about anything at all. Just keep feeding fuel into a generator or a whatever you use to generate power. If you don't have a vacuum hopper, you can actually make a little bit of a water channel and have everything that pops up out of it go into a water stream and get dumped into a normal hopper. You can even have something like that set up where it would automatically filter into a Java barrel system, for example. So there are different things that you can do without going too expensive, and it would still work just fine. Speaking of working just fine, and why is this back so far? It's back so far because that's where I put it, isn't it? So first things first, let's knock that out, put that in there, put the glowstone in there, and cover it back up. And now nobody knows a thing. Do that, that, and that. And we'll put this over here. And I'm assuming I'm probably going, let me knock that out of there. I might only need one more light. That's wonderful. Let's do this. Hey, that'll work. Now let's do... You know what? Just on the off chance that these guys are derpy as all hail. They fall into that. They should not be sliding over here. But let's just do it this way. And then let's go down a tier. And that way, if they happen to slide through, you know what? Let's even take that one out. And eventually I will get my block. Okay, so that will help to dump them down. Hold on. I'm gonna need to do this, otherwise I'm gonna have a bad day later. Let's do that. And let's do that. So right now, everything just keeps feeding this way. And you know what? Screw it. We will just use the stone brick up here anyway. Why? 'Cause we can. Quote the Wolfie. And we put this down like this. Perfect. So, oh look, we're a villager. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Kind of makes me wonder. Will a cobweb... You know what? Let's test a thing. I should have another cobweb upstairs. I can fight the conveyor belts, and I know that the villagers can. So let's find out if we put a cobweb at the end on if a villager can not only fight it, or rather, if a player can fight it, but also in addition to that, will the conveyor belt push you through it? So let's do this for the moment. Let's do this. So the conveyor belt will push you through the cobweb rather quickly. Of course, I guess you can kind of do it as well. That does discourage them a little bit, though. Just a little bit. And I don't think we can put it down there because the conveyor belt is kind of a little higher than everything else. And that'll just push them right off. So now we need the seared bricks. We need 2 seared bricks, and we need 2 here. So that'll be 4. And once that's done, everything else on that thing is basically 1, 2. Oh, 4. So everything else on this is basically set up. I could start dropping villagers in there at any time. And as long as... I just want to make sure. As long as I have everything configured correctly, and this doesn't need to be rotated, then it should teleport the villagers right through. They'll land on that, they'll get dumped into this, and we're good. So I guess for the moment we will just leave it at that. We will put a few villagers over on the far side so that they will start breeding. And I guess we could actually just put 1 down and see if they start breeding. And if they do, and they fall down, then they get teleported in. And I got a little villager running around in that pen. I could put the guy back down again. Oh, look at that glass. I'm going to be needing a lot of that anyway soon. So that is not a problem. In theory, the villager farm, the emerald farm, is going to be It's going to be activated by later today. So that's not too bad. Let me show you why we're going to need the clear glass. That's probably about the only other thing I could show you today. I've been working on this. And if you were at my stream yesterday, then you not only know my recording schedule now, but you also know on what exactly I plan on doing here, but I will share it again anyway. These stairs that I currently have put in, they will need to be moved. The actual platform is only a little bit above that. I believe at that height is roughly where it's going to be. And those are actually placeholders for where the statues of the Streamians and the soul vials. Not actually me letting them out. That would be crazy. But the statues from the headcrumbs, all of the ones that I've captured, they will be there. I will have their souls decorating my walls. Sounds kind of morbid when I put it that way. But this is the start to the blood altar. I believe this is currently a tier 2 altar, if I'm remembering it correctly. And it's going to go all the way down to that height, basically right around to that height. And so that's where the extra elevator is going to come in. I'm going to need to put an elevator down to this floor, which is going to be basically a maintenance floor of sorts. I might just put a maintenance hatch in and do it that way instead. Run the pipes and all that for everything that's down there for the items. Maybe just run that all up here so that you don't really need to go down there for anything except for... oh no, I guess you need to go down there for the smeltery too. Shoot. Alright, well, that's going to be it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit that like button. I'd say hit it repeatedly, but that doesn't work. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. It really does help me out quite a bit. And if you have any suggestions for any of the projects that you've seen on my channel, on Lightly Basted or otherwise, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I prefer to keep the ones in the comment section on this video related to modded or lightly basted, but feel free to let me know. Hey, you never quite know. But until next time, guys, as always, have a good one.